Welcome to House on Wednesday, April 8th. I'm sitting at the end of my street at the gate that I usually go through to go up to the levee. We go up there often to take a walk or bike ride or run or go up at night to see the moon. And as you see, there's a sign right here that has closed it, and there's chains at the bottom of the gate. And there's really no access up to the levee on any of the streets from here to Garcia Bend and to the water tower area. And so it's, in some ways, it feels like we're even more confined than we were to really staying at home. And at one point, we were begrudging that, and we were upset by the fact that we didn't have access. And why would they choose this time to do some levee work and fortify what's already there? As I've had more conversations with workers trying to figure out the timing and the purpose, this seems that this is really the perfect time to do this reconstruction work to be ready, because people should be mostly at home anyway, and the numbers that I had seen up on the levee started to feel a little bit too much for the time that we're in. And so in some ways this is the perfect time. And there's a preparedness that they are being wise in making sure that the levee is ready for the rains to come. The parable that we have in Matthew 25 begins with the 10 bridesmaids, 5 of which are ready, and they've stored up their oil, and they're ready for the bridegroom to come, and 5 that are not. At first glance, it looks like they're applauding the hoarders, those that are saving up what they need for later, but we look closely, we realize that they were just taking advantage of the time that they had to be ready for when Christ would come, and so that at the end of the parable they don't get to that end where God says, I didn't know you weren't there, you weren't ready, you were out buying your supplies because you didn't store them up ahead of time. But of course, it's not talking about material possessions in this case, but it's really talking about taking advantage of the time that we have, and seeing this as an opportunity to build wisely on the time that we have with our families. Even though some of the connections that we're making are through the computer or on the phone, we still have an opportunity to do things that we've never done before. We've had more family dinners in this past 3 weeks than we may have had in the 3 months prior. And it makes me realize that in some ways I was not perhaps building and being prepared in the relationships God had given me. This time has given me opportunity to see that and to try to rebuild wisely in this time. I hope that all of us have that opportunity and to take what we do have. I know that comes not without a little bit of tension at times. Rebuilding as this levee, they're going to be tearing things up and digging big holes and doing some difficult construction work to rebuild what's there. And if you're like my family, there's been definitely some times in the midst of this that we feel like is destructive. But the hopes that we work through that and we begin to reconstruct something that's and especially in the patterns and the rhythms of our lives that are really healthy. And for the most part, I've heard that from so many people that there's been so many benefits that have come out of this. So is in terms of our own relationship with Christ too, my prayer is that you all are having an opportunity to have some time to rebuild and rethink your own rhythms and the ways that you're spending time with and reading scripture and just getting to know the Lord, so that day comes. There's no way that you would be able to say, or that God would be able to say to you that you didn't know each other. But we have this great opportunity to know God in this new way. So my prayers continue to go with you all and with our community as we rebuild in healthy ways. And I'm so thankful for those who have reached out to me as well, and offered me some opportunities to just talk and to be human beings with one another. Have a great day, and we will continue to be in touch.